is Rochelle with the Healing Rose, and today we're doing a little pick a pile reading. So we're just going to choose the cards for our piles. And of course you can choose more than one if that is what calls you. Okay, so this will be for pile number 1. And let's go number 2. This one, pile number 3. All right, so as you go through, you may feel called to more than one pile at a time, and that is perfectly all right. And there will be, of course, chapters down below. So if you've already decided if you prefer pile 1, 2, or 3, or if you choose to pick via the stones that go with, then that is perfectly fine. And if you totally want to skip the part where we actually pick the cards, then you're absolutely welcome to just skip ahead to that chapter. Okay. Let's do this one, and for pile number 3, this one. Okay, let's go. Okay, pile number 1, let's take a look at your cards. So we have Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation. So what do we need to know about laying a solid foundation, right? So we're looking at how are we putting in the effort that we need to? How are we creating that alignment that we need? Let's just see if we have room for these. If only we had a slightly bigger table. Okay. So Beaver Spirit, Knight of Wands, 7 of Swords, the Star, the 2 of Pentacles, and the Knight. Okay. All right, lay a solid foundation. So it looks like even though you've been really motivated to get things done and do things, some part of you still feels like it's like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. With this this 7 energy here, it's like you're anticipating, or maybe even in reality, someone's been doing things behind your back that you're finding, you know, to be really challenging. Like you want to have a strong, solid base to work from. Pardon me. Because this is showing me here, like following your guidance, it's like you're juggling, you're trying to make a decision which way forward, right? It's almost like maybe you even have 2 jobs. And then we have this Knight of Pentacles here, right? Which is like, we want to get going, we want to move forward, but it almost feels like the energy here wants to stall out. So let's see what else we can add to this. Feels like you were really motivated and then someone did something, really kind of just sort of put a kink in the works. And then it almost feels like you're having a hard time maintaining the vision to move forward, right? Deciding what it is that you want to do next. How do you want to proceed moving forward? Okay, and then we have our 7 of Pentacles. Really interesting. That actually has come up several times today. Knight of Wands. Okay, so that knight is still there. So it's like you're still, it feels like there's still some passion for whatever this is that you're working on building. Right? With this knight showing up, the Knight of Wands showing up twice here. Okay, but maintaining that passion, staying positive, finding that way to stay fired up, right? You have a vision of what it is you want to create and what it is that you want to do. So just staying true to that vision instead of, it almost feels like you've been second guessing yourself since this issue happened, right? So yeah, so that Wheel of Fortune. So things are going to move in a positive direction for you to make a totally new beginning, right? Just keep putting the work in there. You really don't need to keep holding on to whatever this past issue is. It feels like part of you wants to still just, you know, remind that person or go back at them, or what are we missing here? Okay, yeah. You know what? It's time for you to just move forward. Just let it go. Whatever has been happening here, you just need to take that leap. Just keep moving forward because things are turning in your favor. As long as you focus on what you're passionate about, you've put in the work, you've been building your skill set, right? And you want to make a fresh start. If you want to actually make that fresh start, you cannot focus on the past and be petty about it, or be argumentative. Like we just need to focus on that forward momentum. Right? Holding your vision for what you want. Like you have a vision. This is about you setting up a solid foundation. And it might feel like somebody tried to totally pull the rug out from under you and completely sabotage you, but moving forward, your vision needs to be like rock solid. Know what it is that you want to build, and it doesn't matter what this other person has done or whatever other situation happened, right? Here we go. So learn a lesson, deeply observe, and you'll become wiser from that, right? So learn from that. It doesn't mean you have to trust that person, but you don't need to keep arguing and being petty about it. You can totally move beyond that, right? We want this fresh new beginning. So we want, right? Okay, so resilience. Stay resilient on your path. So learn from that past. Learn from the situation that happened. But being resilient, staying focused on what your passion is. Getting ready to move forward because now is when things are starting to shift for you. And take that path, right? That path forward. Whatever it is, you need to take that leap. Wander on the path less traveled. What you find might surprise you, right? Stay as strong as evergreen trees. So this is about your resilience. Don't let this past little hiccup, whatever sabotage happened to you, don't let that hold you back. Don't let that totally tarnish your view of how to move forward with the future, right? This is your moment to just, you know, focus on you and what you want to build, right? Don't let other people's stuff get in the way. Don't get petty about it. Just hold that positive vision as you move forward, and things will just start to come together. This Wheel of Fortune, right? And the new beginnings here, right? So you're working on you, and we have something new to move forward to, right? This is focusing on you and your abundance. And, you know, haters gonna hate. You just gotta keep on going. All right. So I hope that resonated with you, pile number 1. If you enjoyed that, please hit that little thumbs up button. And if you feel called to, subscribe. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care. Okay, so pile number 2. Let's take a look at your cards. So we have Chameleon Spirit. Act as if. Okay. That's brilliant. Okay, 6 of Swords. Yep. Four of Swords. Okay. What's been going on? Ace of Cups, Page of Wands, and Page of Swords. All right. So what? There we go. Okay. All right. So act as if. So chameleon spirit tells us that we need to act as if we totally fit in. If it's a new situation, new skill set, this is that kind of like fake it till you make it. Follow along, play the game, just like, you just follow somebody else's lead and mimic that until you have it down and you have your skill set in place, right? You act as if you already know what you're doing. Just have that confidence, move forward. This is not, and it's not even about necessarily you trying to just be like someone else or emulate someone else. This is you trying to blend in so that you can network, build your community, create new contacts, right? This is like trying to just like go with the flow, get along with the crowd. Okay. All right, so we have Six of Swords, and it's interesting because that is very much a card about just going with the flow, like you're going someplace, but you're not really worried about how fast you get there or really about taking charge of the direction that you're moving in. Okay, Four of Swords tells me that there has been, it's almost like you've just kind of been going with the flow because you've needed this rest and respite from the chaos that's been happening with all the changes that this card indicates. There's been some change going on. So we have moving forward from here, we have our Ace of Cups and these two pages, which is interesting energy to have two of them both moving forward, right? So it's like we're finding what it is that we're passionate about and we're discovering our boundaries, right? And how are we expressing ourselves? How are we able to express our ideas? Okay, let's get a little bit more here, right? So to me, this feels like it's interesting. It's like you're moving in a new crowd. You've been going with the flow and you've been out of things for a little while, right? This to me, this Four of Swords looks like there was a lot of internal stuff going on. And this Ace of Cups is like, so there's something new. It's like new, almost like a new love, a new, and I don't necessarily want to say like romantic love. Maybe it's a group or an idea, something that you're fallen in love with. This wonderful new thing that's coming into your life, and this is causing you to see things, like to see possibilities, right? Like how is this inspiring the passion within you to start something new, right? New projects, new whatever. Okay, so we have, King of Cups. That's interesting. Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Wands. Strength and the Four of Swords. Okay, so it's interesting for this Four of Swords to come up twice. That I find really, really interesting. Okay. So the energy here, it's like, what do we want to do with this energy, right? So it's like we have some ideas and we just don't know how to get them off the ground, right? We have, it's like you have thoughts and ideas and a project. There's something here that just wants to get going, but you're not sure. This King of Cups energy coming in, it's like, you know what? It's not like you're emotionally all over the place here. It's just like maybe the thoughts are a little bit scattered. Okay. So we have this place where it's like we're sitting comfortably enough in our own place where we're at, that we feel like we can start to set off in a new direction, right? This, to me, this is kind of interesting. The two knights, to me, they're almost opposing energy. It's like, do we want to focus on making more money, on creating our wealth, creating our abundance? Or do we want to focus on what it is that we're fired up about, what we're passionate about, where it's like that wand energy, right? It's like there's ideas, there's project, there's something you're fired up about, something you want to do, and you're just not 100% if which direction you want to take it or how you want to do things. And I feel like this is going to lead to a little bit of confusion, but whatever happens, it's like you're totally going to be able to deal with whatever it is that's going on, right? But just don't get, it feels like it almost at some point wants to kind of like backslide into going back into this sort of withdrawal. Like if you don't quite get things off the ground in your timeline, almost feels like you want to pull back into yourself here, which is, it's really kind of interesting. All these pages and knights, though, really make me feel like, it makes me, it brings to mind that it's almost like a new business startup is what it feels like. It's like there's something you totally love and you've wanted to do it for forever. Okay, music, reconnect. Idle hours. Okay, maybe this makes it, maybe that makes a bit more sense here. So this is almost giving me the vibes that like there's been a lot of daydreaming going on. Okay, yeah, like it's like a lot of daydreaming, going internally. And that's, I think, where all these ideas and things are coming from, but there's been no clear direction here. So this is telling me that maybe it's actually going to take a little bit of strength of character. Like there's something you want to build. There's a life you want to create for yourself. And in order to do that, you actually have to get motivated to do something here, right? You have to find that strength, that fortitude to just, act as if you've already got everything together. Act as if you've already made it, right? You have to believe that you're here in the Nine of Pentacles, in the garden, living that beautiful, luxurious, relaxed, idyllic life. And then do something to move forward and make that happen. Like you have the ideas are there. It feels like you just need that kind of like strength and endurance to motivate yourself to move forward with it. Because whatever you've got cooking in your brain there, like there's something there. You just need to do something with it. Right? It's like, it almost feels like you have this idea and it wants to take off, but part of you is just kind of like, well, I don't know if it's actually going to go anywhere. Maybe I should just stick with what's working, what's making me money, even if it feels like I'm not really going anywhere, and go back into that daydream space. But if you choose to be motivated, like coming forward, there's definitely, if you choose to be motivated, if you choose to have that fortitude and embrace that Knight of Wands energy, that passion and drive to move forward, the Queen of Swords is here to say, like, you're able to just take charge and take command and make things happen. But some part of you is kind of like, maybe it would just be easier to slide back into just daydreaming and thinking about it and not actually focusing on whatever this idea of this, that internal that internal something. It's interesting because it says there's a melody to be heard in the deepest parts of the woods if only we listen. And Reconnect says secrets lurk in the captive shadows deep in the woods. So it's almost like that, like the ideas are there. That internal strength, that fire, that passion is there for you to actually bring things forward and create something really interesting. But you have to be willing to actually do the work. This is telling me like there's work here that needs to be done if you actually want it, to do something, like to get out there, to have it, to connect. Right? It's to me, it almost feels like you're reconnecting with an old passion that you used to have, something that you used to love doing, and now as you're reconnecting it, you kind of have an idea you can do something with it. But part of you is kind of like, well, I'm just daydreaming, and I'm just gonna stick with what I know. But it doesn't have to be that way, right? It doesn't have to just be a daydream. Okay. All right, so if that has resonated with you and you enjoyed that, I would love if you would give me a little thumbs up or subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. All right, and pile number 3. Let's take a look at your cards. Okay, Bobcat Spirit. Life is a mystery. What are the cards here? Okay, 5 of Swords, the Moon, the Tower, ooh, the High Priestess, and the 2 of Cups. Okay, life is a mystery. Okay, so it feels like it's like we were in a place where we just, like, we felt the need to be right. You know you're right, but you also have to tell everybody else you're right. So it's like, okay, I know what I'm talking about. Now let me prove it. Even it's like arguing for the sake of arguing, just to prove a point to someone, even if it does you no good at all to do that. Okay? So it's like we've been in this space where, like, just feeling really argumentative. Almost, to me, it feels like the energy has been very spiteful. Okay? And then we move into this moon energy, right? So this is, following that intuition, that intuitive knowing. Okay, it might even be like you had a dream about something, like literally a dream, and that has caused some kind of a shift, right? So there's some kind of intuitive hit that you had, or internal guidance where you just kind of knew something, and so now we're going through some kind of big change and upheaval because you knew what you knew, but now it's like you no longer need to be right. You can know something and you can keep it to yourself. Just because you know better than the other person doesn't mean you have to explain to them how you know better than them, right? So it's like now we're shifting into this place where it's like we're working internally, right? We're keeping things to ourselves, and that's okay because we love that, right? So it's like you're very, very happy to just be doing things that are like, it's more for yourself. That High Priestess energy, right? We're peering beyond the veil. We're learning things. We know secrets. We have deeper understanding, right? Maybe we're even consulting a little bit more with Spirit. Okay, interesting. So we got the Fool. Oh, and the High Priestess. That's really interesting. And the Hermit, which is very much about doing things alone. Okay. I feel like I called them out of the deck there. Right? So this to me says it's like there's a perfect partnership, right? It's like you connecting with your deeper spiritual side is opening you up to this beautiful partnership, and it might just even be like between you and the divine. I'm not necessarily feeling like it's necessarily another person, and for some people it might be like new love, that perfect person has come into your life, but this kind of partnership could even be someone that is just like, even as a business partnership, that Two of Cups energy there. It's like things are balanced, things are beautiful. You know, you're supporting each other. Okay, so this is like, let's take the leap. This High Priestess, right? That's really interesting to me. The High Priestess, where are we going with that? What are we doing with that energy? Okay, the Hermit, Nine of Pentacles, King of Cups. Really, really, really interesting. So I always find it really, really interesting. And what are we missing at the bottom of the deck is Judgment. Okay. So when we have so many, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have eight major arcana. And we have, this is an 8 as well. Okay, so that's really interesting because 8s are about abundance. They're about our ability to create new things, right? So we're open to receiving on a whole different level than we were before. So it's like we're ready to just take the leap into the unknown. And in the unknown, we can see beyond. We have deeper understanding. And then we realize that because we have a deeper understanding, right, now we're doing things and because of this, not necessarily on our own, but like we're following our own path. So it's not necessarily the path that you thought was laid out for you before. There's been this big shift here where now it's like you're doing, it's like you're listening to a deeper guidance that's coming through here, right? So what do we want? We want that everybody wants that Nine of Pentacles life, right? Idyllic, there's a garden, there's abundance, there's relaxation, there's nice things. Life is beautiful, right? Who doesn't want that? Life is beautiful. So, and a 9 and a 9. Oh, that's interesting. The 2 9s there, right? It's like almost like we're kind of done. We're done with being. So the King of Cups is like we're deeply understanding now, right? We're not being led by our emotions anymore. So that deeper kind of like ego stuff isn't happening because now we're really confident, right? And we're moving into this really lovely space with this. So we're on a totally new beginning here. So let's just see, what can we add to this? So as we step into that new beginning, what else do we have? Oh, growth. Okay. Tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. Don't be afraid to start something new, which is that Fool energy, right? And this right here is saying like there's totally big changes are happening, right? But we're stepping into a totally new beginning. Okay. Yeah, so let's not waste any time with it. Embrace the dewdrops of life before they disappear, and take some time out to lie in the emerald grass, right? So just take some time to enjoy your life, right? So we want to have some enjoyment here. Like we got big changes, but enjoy the changes, right? We're doing some really deep, intense work. 2 High Priestesses. That's really interesting to me, right? Okay. So we're doing this work. We're growing. We're shifting. Things are changing, right? So let's not take any day for granted. We can enjoy the moment, right? It's not all about the hustle all the time, but sometimes we just need to have that moment where we pause, where we take a deep breath, where we smell the roses, where we enjoy that pleasant meal, do things that bring you something beautiful, something wonderful in your life. Okay, well, I hope that you have enjoyed this. If this resonated, if you could give us a little like, that would be amazing. If you wanted to subscribe, that would be fantastic. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care.